Disclaimer time! This was originally a segment from my Vice City video I did a few weeks ago, and some of it did end up making it into the video, but it was a lot more shortened than what I'm going to show here, because that video was already 2 hours long, and for pacing reasons I ended up cutting like a lot of shit. So if you enjoyed that video and you want to hear more of my opinions on the definitive edition, that's what this is for. And if you're just not seeing this first and you enjoy this, then maybe you can go check out my 2 hour long Vice City video. Please, I spent like 3 months editing it.
It would be damn near impossible for me to make a video about Vice City and just completely ignore it. This shit's ass, man. I originally wasn't going to talk about this game at all, aside from passing mention in other parts of the video, but it feels like it fits the theme of this video for me to talk about this fucking wretched piece of shit. Because in a weird way, as the original Vice City made me love video games again while playing it, this one made me realize why I have such beef with the current state of video games in general. Because I think this whole game is a definitive example of how lazy and rushed a lot of new AAA games are, especially remakes and remasters. This game was infamously broken upon release, and it has improved a little bit since then as Rockstar's gone back and made some patches and stuff, but that doesn't change the fact that this shit still had one of the worst launches I think I've ever seen, possibly worse than Cyberpunk. Yeah, from the moment everyone got their hands on this game, they just realized that Rockstar didn't care about the quality of this at all or the way it turned out. They just wanted to make it in general to make some more money, I guess. And it's disappointing too, because it's not like Rockstar or Take-Two is in any way, shape, or form hurting for money. Just look at the fucking cash whale that is GTA Online and tell me that that company needed to push this out because they really needed the revenue. And this game is ugly, like really ugly. I know the original isn't like much of a looker or anything. The graphics are definitely dated, but I don't know, I still have a pretty strong appreciation for a lot of the color schemes and pastel kind of looks that this game has. I think it's pretty nice. Any personality that this 22-year-old game had at all is completely wiped away in the remaster. It kind of has this melted plastic look to it, and don't get me started on that fucking rain. You know your rain is bad when Goat Simulator Remastered goes out of its way to mock it in the trailers. Not only is this shit vision obscuring, it just doesn't have the same impact that the real rain from the original game had. Looking around when it was raining in Vice City, you could kind of feel the humidity in the air. This really did feel like a proper Florida storm, but this just feels fucking weird. Why is it so white? Is it raining fucking cum? What? Dude, that's so gross. Ew, oh, that's so gross. This graphic style also brings out a lot of the map and level designs age, as you notice how blocky a lot of things look in this texture. It is cool how much the render distance has improved now that you can see basically everything, but it also has its downsides because it allows you to see just how small in scale this map actually is when you really stop to like examine it, you know? Because while you're out there exploring and in the thick of it, it feels like a pretty huge city, but then you take an outward look at it and you're like, oh, this is really not that much bigger than the map from Bully or something. I mean, the driving is fine at least. It's basically what you'd expect, and the shooting has improved ever so slightly. The lock-on is definitely a lot more reliable, but I don't really like the way it looks, to be honest. It slaps this white highlight around somebody, and then you get this little reticle on their chest, and I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I think I prefer the one from San Andreas, if anything, honestly. But you could have also just gave us aiming more in the vein of like GTA 5. I'm sure it couldn't have been that hard to rope that in somehow. This is somewhat on topic, so if you want an example for why this remake or remaster, whatever, pissed me off so much, just take a look at the Mafia 1 remake, because that's what I thought this was gonna be. The game kept all the great aspects of the original, the charm, the story, and then just improved on everything else that was stated. The shooting feels better, the driving feels better, the game is beautiful compared to the original. If you are going to do a remake of something like this, that is how you should do it. I genuinely wish that people talked about the Mafia 1 remake more. I love you, baby, I really do. They added the weapon wheel from GTA 5, which is pretty nice actually, because it does get pretty annoying to have to manually cycle through the whole thing trying to find the specific weapon you want out of like 13. Obviously the cars are a lot easier to see coming now since the draw distance is better, so you're a lot less likely to just slam into somebody that you didn't know was coming up ahead of you. And if you find some good spots. Looking around at the view of the city can be pretty fucking great.
That's quite big. Impressive.
See, I'm not a complete cynic. I can be nice too. Thank you. They also give you the option to restart a mission from the beginning once you fail it, instead of having to drive all the way back to the starting point. And I really appreciate that. And you can freely move the camera whenever you want now, which is really nice. But all of these changes just feel like too little considering how much they got wrong. They only scratched the surface when it comes to new features. Like, why am I still not able to swim after all these fucking years? You're telling me you couldn't have just like ripped that mechanic from San Andreas and put it here? It couldn't have been that difficult. You've done it before in 2006. Because if you're gonna call yourself the definitive version of something, then you gotta actually live up to that title. Give us something we haven't seen before. Go fucking crazy with it. Add a new area to the map or something. Add some new weapons. Give us the ability to fucking swim. I don't know, just a suggestion. And this is a bit of a stretch, obviously, but it would have been really cool if you guys had added the multiplayer function from San Andreas. Oh, I love that shit so much. I just want to know why you guys played it so safe and how even though you added some new mechanics, this game still manages to be less fun than the original in a way. It's weird. And you might say I'm being too cynical, and you're probably right, but I'm sorry. But if you're gonna charge $60 for a game on release and slap that definitive title on it, then fucking mean it. And it sucks too that these inferior versions have replaced the original great versions of the games on stuff like Steam and the PlayStation Store. Because I never bought Vice City on my PlayStation originally. I bought San Andreas and I bought GTA 3. So now I have both of those and I don't have Vice City. I still gotta whip out the Xbox whenever I want to play that. Not a major inconvenience or anything. I just kind of wish I would have known that it was going to be deleted at some point and maybe I would have bought it. Same goes for Steam. I mean, people are not happy about the choice to completely abandon the original in favor of this half-assed and frankly just shitty fucking remake. But the worst part about all of this is that these kind of soiled the reputation of the originals in a way. Because while this version being so shitty made some fans appreciate the old ones even more, it was also a lot of other fans' first exposure to these games entirely, which isn't great for obvious reasons. Because if this was your fucking first experience at Vice City, I'm really sorry, dude, because I feel like you're missing out a ton. Don't get me wrong, I love Rockstar Games. They've helped me through some really tough times before with a lot of their games, but that doesn't mean I can just automatically look past when they make stupid choices as a company. Because as an average consumer, I think this shit's pretty ass, but as a major fan of the series and of the people who make it, I just feel kind of disappointed. So yeah, don't play the fucking definitive edition. Play the original game. It's really good and it's got Hawaiian shirts in it, dude.